What I really liked about Trump, going to see Trump and Dr. Kaplan and Bard putting it in that atmosphere. I mean, it's a beautiful atmosphere. It's gorgeous, it's positive, it's high. Dr. Kaplan's energy and Dr. Bard, the materials that they shared, the idea is they're always coming up with new things. Just had a boot camp a year before, and I thought, oh, I was just down there a year ago. Do I really want to go back? I'm so glad I went back because I learned so much. And you learn from all the other doctors that are there too. They share, and this is what I do, and that's what I tried this. And so there's a lot of sharing that takes place. And all the time they're saying, write this number down. This lady, she's in Chicago. She does Facebook marketing. Don't question, just call her. Get her on the phone. And little things like that. So on my list of things to do when I got back, it was 4 pages long. And my list of notes wasn't as long, but my to-do list, that's what I love taking away from that. I'm going to do this when I get back, because if you implement what they tell you to do, these guys are the best. They're experts. They each had 5, 6 clinics for years. They know what works. They know what doesn't work. All you have to do is listen to them and implement it. Don't try to reinvent it yourself. Just do what they tell you to do. The thing I love about the boot camp, it's the basics. I mean, they start out, how do you answer the phone? How many staff members? Who does this? Who does that? Then they go through the marketing. Everybody, that's always the fun part, the marketing. They go through the steps and procedures, the protocols. Here's what you have to follow. Here's your checklist. Make sure you do your checklist. Keep your stats. They give you a step by step. That's what boot camp's all about. It's basic training. It's learning the basics. And we all need to be reminded and get back to the basics. And when we start getting away from the basics, things start going down. It's always the little things. The success is always in the details, and that's what boot camp teaches you. The basics, step 1, step 2, step 3, and they keep going around giving you more and more. So you have a stack. I had a stack of material. I had to throw some stuff out of my suitcase coming back from boot camp because I brought back so much stuff, and it's all colored, it's all laser, it's all high tech. It's beautiful stuff. And the folders and their presentation, how they, like if you're going to be a great doctor, you better have a great presentation. You better have this and that in your presentation folder. If you're presenting these kinds of cases, you better be able to back it up and look the part. And you better act the part. And you better be the doctor and have what you need in your backpack in order to make the hike. And that weekend, I learned so much that I came back and I signed up with them with their program. And now I've got 10 tables. I started with 2 and now we got 10. It is just astronomical. We had to move to a bigger space. People come from all over. I feel like a specialist. I feel like all I do all day long is show people their MRIs and I talk to them. Usually 5 minutes consult, 5 minutes report of findings. It gets shorter and shorter as my conviction goes up and up and my belief system gets stronger. I don't even show them their MRIs anymore. I used to show it to them, and they don't really care to see it. As long as you know what the problem is and they trust you and they feel like they can help you. So it's been a fantastic, I owe this so much to Dr. Bard and Dr. Kaplan, what they taught me and how they made me think bigger. That's what they kept stretching me. They kept saying, you can do more, you can do better. What if you had 5 tables? And I was thinking, how could I ever have 5 tables? And now we got 10. It's just amazing. I love it. I can't wait to get to work every day. It's like a new, because the results are so good. So your confidence just goes up so high and the patients sense it. They feel your confidence, your conviction. And doctors come from all over to visit and they all say to me the same thing. You're only in there like 2 or 3 minutes with them. What do you say? I said, it's not so much what you say. It's got to come from in here. They can see right through, like a kid and a dog. They can see right through if you're fake or phony, if you don't believe it yourself. But if you got it in here, that's all you need. It really doesn't matter what you say after that. Most guys I see, they're fearful. They're afraid to sign up. They're afraid their wife's going to be upset. Well, you signed up with that last group a couple years ago. What'd they do for you? Eric and Perry aren't like that. Their juice comes from seeing you succeed, from seeing you do well, seeing you go from 1 table to 2 to 3 to 4. That jazzes them up. They're fired up. They love success, helping patients, helping you make more money, making you feel better about yourself as a doctor, becoming a specialist. This is what I get from down there. But I do see the fear in a lot of guys. I just didn't have, at that time, I didn't have that fear. I knew, because I had been following Dr. Kaplan, wherever he was talking, I didn't care if it was California, Texas, I would go because he was so entertaining and so funny and so committed to excellence. And he always says, you want to be good or do you want to be great? you know, and I felt like I was kind of in a rut, and they helped me get out of that rut and see a whole bigger world. And it's so much more fun, and it's so much more passionate when you're busy and you see 10 new patients a day and you're just seeing one right after another, and you're not spending that time with them that you used to, because it's not necessary. They teach you to be more efficient. They teach you these things. My biggest thing with them is I love that they inspire me. Their work ethic, I mean, those guys, I don't think they go to bed at night. They always answer my calls, my emails, texts. Doesn't matter what day it is. Those guys are always working. So I would tell the guys who are thinking about signing up, don't be afraid that they're not going to hold up their end, because all I can tell you what they did for me. If I can do this, I was in the half of the graduating class that made the top half possible. If I can do what they taught me to do, anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. I don't have any special gifts for this. All I have is the conviction, and I do have the discipline to implement what they tell me to do. I can say with all honesty, because of Dr. Bard and Dr. Perry Bard and Dr. Kaplan, what they did for me as far as taking me to a place where I didn't think I could go. And I mean, financially, personally, self-confidence, conviction, how you feel about yourself. When you're making money and you get to the point where you don't care about the money anymore, you're so jazzed about helping people that the money starts to fall into your lap. If you really love them and you have the conviction, you have the tools. If you got the boot camp, that's the basics. If you go down to Chiro Trump, that's like going to the Ritz-Carlton. Wow, they got white gloves. They're really taking it up a notch. They put me in a place where, like I said, I didn't think I could grow to 10 tables. I never would have dreamed. If someone told me in a little town that I'm in, depressed town, 60% of the population is dependent on the government for income, all the companies have left, all the major employers have left, and it's because of the things they taught me and their commitment at Chiro Trump and at boot camp. That's what they've done for me personally and financially. And man, when you start making that kind of money, and then you're not even attached to it anymore. It's not, because you realize it's not about the money. That comes if you're doing your purpose. If you're following your heart, you're coming from in here, that money will start chasing you. And too many guys are fearful and they're chasing the money. And patients can see that immediately when you walk in that room. Boy, I hope I can close this guy. You know, the rent's coming up, I got a payment, I got a mortgage payment. If any of that is rolling around in your head, they see it right across here. So you got to get rid of all that. And that's what they help me do, is just love that patient, be committed to the result, do whatever it takes to get that result for them. And then you don't have to worry about the money.